All right, one more section for chapter 8, trapezoids and kites. Trapezoid is a quad with exactly one pair of parallel sides. So looking at my picture here, these are your parallel sides. They're called the bases. And the other two sides are called legs. And they don't have to be the same at all. They can go wherever they want. An isosceles trapezoid, hopefully that word sounds familiar, where the two legs are equal. See the hash marks there? Again, it's quadrilateral, so you know that all the degrees inside, all the interior angles are going to add to 360. Isosceles like this, because everything is going to be equal, this angle and this angle will be equal, and this angle and this angle will be equal as well. We'll get to that in a minute. In fact, there it is. What else do we know? The diagonals on isosceles, again, look at this isosceles trapezoid. See the little lines there? The diagonals will be equal as well. They're not cutting each other. This does not equal that. These are different lengths here. They even look it. Okay. All right, what else we got? Mid-segment's not a bad thing. A lot of crazy stuff you're seeing here, folks, but this one's not bad as far as understanding. This is a mid-segment of a trapezoid. See how M's halfway between A and D, single hash mark, single hash, and the N dot over here on the right, double above and below it, is halfway. The length of that mid-segment, MN, that is the average of the AB segment and the DC segment. The average. So you just add up the two lengths and divide by 2. For instance, just to clear this out a little bit, if the numbers were like, let's say it's 8 and 10, well, to get the average of the two numbers, you add them up. 8 plus 10 divided by 2. That's 18 divided by 2, which is 9. So it would be 9. So a mid-segment of a trapezoid, it's not a horrible thing to look at. Okay. Now, next shape we have our kites. It's quadrilateral, has 2 pairs of consecutive congruent sides. So these two sides that are consecutive, they're side by side, are equal. And these two sides, which are consecutive or side by side, are also equal. That's what makes it a kite. Now, kites have lots of interesting things. First of all, the two angles where the different sides meet, that's this angle C and angle A, they'll be congruent. Also, you have a kite, the diagonals form at 90 degrees, okay, a 90. Also, with a kite, again, there's a lot of stuff, folks, you're not going to remember all. The short side here, from where the different sides meet here and here, the diagonal, that diagonal is cut in half by the other diagonal. Okay, so we'll do some problems with all these in a moment here. Here's a kite, for instance, an actual kite. You want you to find angle D. So it's 4 sides, right? So you know it's 360. So it's 360. Oops, it's total 360 degrees, and they have the 80 and the 124 here. So we can use those two, right? So we can take away. We know that if we subtract the 124 and then subtract the 80, whatever's left can be used up for the F and the D. And looking at this kite, what do you know about angles F and D? Well, if you're not too sure, we'll go back here and look at these two angles where the sides that aren't equal meet. This angle equals that angle. So when we go to find F and D, those two angles will be equal. All right, so I'm going to subtract 204 from 360. 160, 156. So 156. I took away those two angles. I got 156 left between F and D. They've got to be equal, so I have to divide this by 2. This 156 gets divided by 2 for F and D because they're equal. So 156 divided by 2 equals, what, 78? I think it's 78 each. 78 degrees. All right, let's go look at some of these basic problems first. Trapezoid, it's an isosceles. So you know certain angles are equal, and some angles will always add up to 180. because again, you have two parallel lines and a transversal. So if you know this is 50 in here, you can easily find this one down here. And the angle K and the angle L are going to be equal. So I know I got 50 and 50. Well, if again, these are consecutive, I'm down here now, consecutive angles off the transversal, they should add the 180. So this should be 130 and also 130 here. On next shape. Again, it's an isosceles trapezoid. I know that K and L are equal, so it's going to be 100, 100. I also know that L and M and K and J should both add up to 180, because again, you have parallel lines, a transversal. These two angles got to add to 180. So we got 100 here, 80 here, 80 here. Again, these are only for isosceles trapezoids. Here's one I thought that, again, since we did mid-segments of triangles long ago, this one kind of is the same rule. Again, they're giving you these two. It's not a, by the way, it's not a isosceles. See, they're not the same. It doesn't have to be. But they want you to find this mid-segment. Again, you just take the two numbers of the bases, the 18 and 10, and get their average. So for average of two numbers, you add them up, 18 plus 10 divided by 2. 28 divided by 2, 14. So this is 14. Okay, so it's a little bigger than this one, a little smaller than this one. Same thing here. We take the two bases. This is the mid-segment in here. And we average those two numbers out. So 21 plus 25 divided by 2. That's 46 divided by 2, 23. So the mid-segment is 23. And it's right in between. It's 2 away from that one, 2 away from that one. Right in the middle. All right, some kites for you. Remember on kites, okay, you got these two sides equal and these two sides equal. Therefore, angle E and angle G are equal. Well, it's a four-sided figure, so I know its total is 360 degrees. I've got 40 and 100 already used up, so I'm going to subtract the 140 from that. And I have 220 degrees left for E and G. Well, again, they're split equally, so I'm going to divide the 220 by 2. Each of those is 110 degrees for these two angles. Are you loving this yet? Look at 19 carefully. Which two angles are equal in this kite? Well, it's not E and G, but it is F and H, right? So you have 110 for H, you get a 110 here. How would you go and find angle G at this point? Well, yeah, you're going to add up the other three and subtract from 360, because again, it's a quadrilateral.